Hi guys, Ash here, also known as the H Leaf, and I am back today with one of my couples I cannot stand video. I decided to make that list of couples that I cannot stand, and I decided to do a little bit of a disclaimer. I want to be talking about couples that I personally just did not care for. So if you see a Degrassi couple like Drew Bianca and I talk about them, and people are like, okay, what about the other guys that? What about all the other girls that Drew dated, like Katie, Becky? I'm not gonna talk about the relationships because honestly, the relationships had nothing that was substance to talk about. Like, there's nothing to talk about with relationships, so I'm not gonna talk about them. And if there's like pretty much like that, if there's a relationship that I feel like has zero substance, I'm not gonna waste my breath trying to tell you why I just don't like them together. So yeah, I'm just gonna mention that. But Drew and Bianca definitely will be on my list of couples that I feel like should have been in game because I love Drew and Bianca. But you get it. So this list is only for couples. The couples I cannot stand is for the couples that specifically the writers focused heavily on, try to give them something, and I honestly just was not feeling it. From the chemistry, from the relationship, from the compatibility, just everything. If I honestly did not feel it, I'm going to address it. So the couple I'm going to talk about today is a Degrassi couple. As all you all know that I love Degrassi. I got into it. I am on the last season of it. Haven't finished it. Um, and a couple from that show that I honestly just don't know why the fuck the writers really intended on making them this thing is Craig and fucking Manny. I honestly do not like them together. I honestly feel like Manny was the worst person Craig was ever paired up with, and I stand on that. I prefer Craig and Ashley over him and Manny. And they had him and Manny, this relationship was a problem from the start because Manny got involved with him when he was dating another girl. And I'm not saying Craig is off the hook because if he really loved Ashley the way he did, he would have had dropped Manny. He would have had broke off with Manny as soon as she was trying to get, hop on him. Like, I feel like Craig, that night that him and Manny had sex, that's when Craig should have had been trying to resist her. He should have had never invited Manny over to his house. He should have had never done any of that. He should have had been loyal towards Ashley, and he should have had just thought twice about it. But I think Craig did that because he was pissed at Ashley because she decided to break it off with him because she thought that he wasn't being serious enough about the relationship. So he fucked Manny because he was pissed off about Ashley. That's what I think happened. And I love Craig. I love Craig and I love Manny, but my love for Manny really, really happened very slowly because her character was just so frustrating to watch. But Craig, my love for Craig happened very off the bat. I love Craig's character. I honestly think he's probably the most complex character in Degrassi history, and that is a fact. Um, but back to the relationship. Honestly, I feel like after they once, personally, I feel like another thing, can't talk. A thing that I feel like they should have had done in Degrassi is having Manny keep the baby. I think her being a mother would have had given her some clarification, some clarity to just to grow the fuck up. I think her being a mother would have had given her a chance to mature up and realize that it ain't always about you. It ain't always about guys. It ain't always about looking the prettiest, looking the sexiest, having the best boobs, the best butt. It's about how you carry yourself as a girl, as a woman. And I feel like Manny, it took her a really long time to understand that because her brain was just clouded with nonsense. Now, there is nothing wrong with taking care of yourself. Definitely, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think Manny took care of herself for the wrong reasons. I feel like she did everything for validation from other guys. She never once had an ounce of confidence in herself. Everything just came from her insecurities. She thrived off her insecurities and she made that her biggest thing. She just did things because of validation. And that was just really frustrating to watch with her character. Um Honestly, I feel like after everything with her and Craig, they should have had left it alone. And I honestly feel like Craig did the best thing by telling her season 4 that if he could have gone back in time, he honestly would have ended things a lot quickly. And she got so upset, like looking like she was ready and cry because he said it was a mistake. Like, it was a mistake. Everything that y'all did was a mistake. It wasn't right. Him cheating on Ashley wasn't right. Her going after him, knowing that he had a girlfriend, wasn't right. Like, it was just bad from the start. All of it was just terrible from the start. And actually, I'm gonna address the last thing, very last in this video before but let's get on what I feel like they really fucked up with them, and that's putting them back together in season 5 and 6. Why the hell would Degrassi put them back together after everything we already watched in season 3? Nothing about them getting back together in season 5 and 6 felt like they just don't work together. Like, I honestly hated the fact that they chose him and Manny over Craig and Ellie. Craig and Ellie should have been together in season 5. Once him and Ashley were done, he should have had immediately went out with Ellie. Him and Ellie could have been one of the best couples. Like, if manifesting in my head, I have a feeling that they found each other. They found each other in my fantasy, and they got married. That's what I'm thinking with him and Ellie. Honestly, I feel like if Degrassi would have been thinking clear, they would have chosen Ellie and Craig to be a thing over Manny. Over him and Manny. Manny should have had never gone back to Craig. It is weird to me that they went back to each other after everything they went through in season 3. And it's kind of like that's one of the problems I have with Degrassi as a show, is that it's like things like that are never talked about ever again. Like, I feel like they should have had never go back together, because it was just bad from the start. All of it from the start was just really bad. It was so toxic from the beginning. Like, it was just not good. Like, Craig getting her pregnant, them getting pregnant so young, him cheating, her going after him, just her desperately trying to be with him. Like, it just wasn't good, and I kind of hate the fact that they didn't talk about it. But I guess Craig telling her in season 4 that it was a mistake was some type of clarification. But I don't know. I honestly feel like them going back to each other in season 5 and 6 was the worst fucking decision Degrassi ever did. How about this? That's one of the worst decisions I ever seen on TV, is having Craig and Manny go back to each other after we had to watch that insufferable shit on season 3. Like, I just hate the fact that they chose him and Manny over Craig and Ellie. Like, I just really hated that. Him and Ellie should have been in game. We all know it. Out of all the girls Craig ever been with, him and Ellie had the best chemistry. They had the best interactions. They understood each other the best. Like, Craig was his most happiest for Ellie. I don't care what any of you guys say. It's just, and then them doing cocaine together was just the top tier. It was just, it was getting, doing drugs together as a couple, like hard hitting drugs. Like, that's just, come on, cocaine and heroin. You really pushing it. Like, that's just, come on. Like, that was the top tier. Like, that was when I was just feeling like they need to break them the fuck up. And they did. I was really happy when they broke them up. But then I hated the fact that Craig just, Speedy Gonzalez his ass out of the series without him and Ellie ever finding their way back to each other. And it broke my heart that they, like I said, they chose him and Manny over him and Ellie. And I really, really hated that. So, on to the next thing. The next thing that I'm going to address is that I don't think they were toxic. I don't ship them. That should get one thing clear. I don't ship them. But the reason why I don't think they're toxic is because their relationship doesn't even compare to relationships like Damien and Lena, or Johnny and Allie, or relationships like that. I can keep going. There's relationships too. I just can't think of them right now. I would say probably Klaus and Caroline. That whole thing was just toxic. You get my point. This relationship doesn't even compare to that. I think they were just very uncompatible, and all of it was just bad timing, and it just never really was going to work between them. I'm seeing people say that they should have been in game. That out of all the girls Craig was with, him and Manny had the best chemistry, and it's just like, whoa, like, it's like as if people are forgetting what they went through as a couple. Like, nothing that they went through as a couple was healthy. It wasn't right. It was just hot. It was bad. It was uncompatible. It was just unhealthy, and they should have never been together for that long, especially not for 2 seasons. That was just ridiculous. So you guys get it. I don't like Manny and Craig. I can't stand them together. I honestly hate the fact they got back together. So yes, I think this is like part 3, because I already did the other two couples, but here it is. Manny and Craig, I don't like them. They're couples I cannot stand together. Look out for my next couple coming up next. The next couple is going to have people on the edge of their motherfucking seats, because I've already expressed my feelings about this couple in the past. But anyway, thanks for listening, and support my channel.